In this episode of Home Theater Geeks, I answer a question from Anne, who's bummed about having so many remotes. Can she reduce the number? Yes, she can. Stick around.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, the Home Theater Geek. In this episode, I'm going to answer a question from Anne, who writes, "Your podcasts are great." Thanks, Anne. I know just enough now to be dangerous with a checkbook. Uh-oh. After 5 or 6 highly educational podcasts, I bought a Yamaha AVR and a Panasonic Blu-ray player. The two 20-year-old speakers sound good when I watch a movie, and the old TV speaker is not bad for news programs. My issue is 5 remotes. My brain can't handle it. I have remotes for Roku, TV, Blu-ray, AVR. Then there are headphones, which is another complication. Help! I'm happy to make progress with a new TV, a Samsung S90 OLED. But if I can't get the remotes under control, 1 or 2 max, I'm going to take this new stuff back to the store. Well, Anne, it's a very common problem. First of all, congratulations on the new gear. Yamaha makes great AVRs, Panasonic makes great Blu-ray players, and Samsung makes great OLED TVs. So you got some great stuff there. And now we have to get the control under control. Now, the most common solution to this problem is a universal remote. Now, my favorite universal remote is called the Harmony from a company called Logitech. You know, Logitech, they make keyboards and mice and, headphones and stuff like that. They also used to make the Harmony universal remote. Unfortunately, they don't anymore, which is a true bummer. But they still do offer some support. And we're going to put a link to the URL where you can get support if you already own one from Logitech. And you can still buy some of the models on Amazon and eBay. So, they're not completely unavailable, and they really work great. Now, there are 2 basic types. There's the standalone and the remotes that have hubs, what are called hub-based. The standalone models use IR, typically infrared, just like most component remotes. And the hub-based ones use IR as well, but also they use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to control things hidden behind doors or even in another room. So there are a number of standalone models that are still somewhat available. The 350 is probably the entry-level one, shall we say. You can see it here. It's got number buttons, it's got transport controls, it's got what's called a cursor cluster in the middle, up, down, right, left, and OK in the middle, and a mute button, volume and TV and channel control, stuff like that. I think it can control up to 8 devices. Then there's the 650, which is kind of a step up from there. And that's the next graphic. There it is, with a little LED display with some buttons on the side, and the function of those buttons changes depending on what you're doing. There's also a 665, a 700, a 950, which is the one seen there, and its charger, and the one called the Harmony 1. Which is the one I actually use. I really like that one quite a bit. And it has also a display screen on it, and that's a touch panel display, so you can actually touch the display. And then there's the Ultimate and the Ultimate One. And there's the Ultimate One. And And those higher ones control like 15 devices. Looks to me like the Ultimate One may very well be a hub-based, and I probably should have mentioned that in the hub-based models. Anyway, the hub-based models include the Elite, the Ultimate Home, the Companion, and presumably the Ultimate One, because this picture has a hub in it. Now, the prices on Amazon range from $145 for a renewed 650, that is one that probably got sold and got returned, to $300 for a new 650, to nearly $500 for an Elite with a hub. So, they ain't cheap, but they really work well. Now, they are what are called activity-based. So, basically, you specify different activities like watch TV, watch cable, watch a Blu-ray, play a game. All these different activities require your system to be set up in a different way. So you hit a button labeled watch TV, for example, and it sends all the codes necessary to turn on the TV and the AVR, switch to the right inputs, and everything else that needs to happen in order to watch that. And then the controls, the volume control will control the AVR, the channel control will turn the TV. If you're using a cable box, it'll change the channel on the volume on the cable box. Watch Blu-ray will turn on the Blu-ray player, switch the inputs as necessary. The transport controls will work the Blu-ray player. Now, to get this working, you need to tell the remote what equipment you have and which pieces of equipment are used for which activities, and what inputs they need to be set to, and so on. Now, this is done by connecting your remote to your computer by USB and logging on to the myharmony.com site. And you also have to run some Harmony software in your computer so that they can communicate together. And then you just tell the system, here's my AVR, here's my TV, here's my Blu-ray player, and here's what controls the volume, here's what controls the channels, and so on. And it sets it all up for you. However, I have to warn you, I was doing some research for this, and the myharmony website says that the myharmony software does not run on Mac OS 10.15 or higher, 10.15 or higher. You can use it on Mac OS 10.14 and lower, or Windows. They didn't specify any versions. And if you're using a hub-based Harmony, you need to control it from your iOS or Android phone. So older Harmony remotes can use Harmony remote software, which is compatible with Mac OS 11 and 12, so a little bit newer. Now, this all sounds very complicated, and it isn't trivial. I will tell you that. They tried to design it to be easy to use, and they succeeded to an extent, but not completely, in my opinion. But it's not as bad as it sounds. The biggest problem is that these devices are no longer available, except on the secondary market. Like Amazon has a stock, but once they run out, I think they'll be gone. They won't have any more. And the software is in some cases, as I just said, limited to older OS versions. So you're taking a bit of a gamble there. So I wanted to mention a more current device company that sells universal remotes that a lot of people really like. The company is called Baton, which I think is a great name. Now, I haven't tried one myself yet, but as I say, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I do intend to try one. Their URL will also be in the show notes. It's easy. It's sofabaton.com. They offer two models. The U series, which is a standalone, and you can see it here, has a little bit of a display near the top of the remote. And the X series, which is a hub-based unit, has also some display at the top. Both can replace up to 15 device remotes or even more. Both offer IR and Bluetooth LE communication. The U series is limited to 4 Bluetooth devices. The X series can also control classic Bluetooth devices like the PlayStation 4 and 5, Roku Wi-Fi, Philips Hue light bulbs, which are remote controllable light bulbs that are pretty cool, and the Sonos whole house audio system. Now, both can control various devices by switching between them on the remote. But the X series also has an activity mode like the Harmonies. On the U series, you can set up what are called macros, which do the same thing as an activity series, but it's probably not nearly as convenient as a true activity mode. Now, the X series also lets you do voice controls. So Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and Sofa Baton's own API smart home system. U-Series apparently does not do that. On the other hand, the U-Series is $65, way less than any of the Harmonies. And the X1, which is still available, but it's an older model, is $140, and the X1S current model is $200. That's still less than almost any Harmony remote except for a renewed one. So with the caveat that I haven't tried the Sofa Baton remotes yet, I'd probably recommend going with one of those because they're current and they work with current software and computer systems. And in fact, I look forward to trying the X1S myself. Will it replace my beloved Harmony One? I'm not sure, but I do want to get up on the latest that's available for you so that I can share it with you. So I hope that answers and helps your question. Like this episode and many episodes, I answer questions from listeners, and all you have to do is send it along to htg@twit.tv. Now, in a new development, all of our videos are now available on YouTube with ads, but they're free. You can watch them anytime. Now, if you want ad-free shows, all you have to do is join the club, which you can do by going to twit.tv/clubtwit. And I do hope you will consider that. Until next time, geek out.
Hey, buddy, are you a geek? Are you a tech enthusiast? Then I would love to invite you to join a tech community like no other. You can gain exclusive access to our incomparable quality tech content for just $7 a month with Club Twit. As a member, you'll enjoy all Twit TV shows ad-free, plus access private video feeds for insider shows like iOS Today, Home Theater Geeks, and so much more. Dive into the members-only Twit Plus bonus feed for behind-the-scenes content, club discussions, and special events. But here's the best perk. Join our incredible Discord community to watch live show productions, chat with hosts, and participate in exclusive members-only activities. It's your backstage pass to the world of Twit. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or a lifelong learner, Club Twit elevates your knowledge while entertaining your interests. Get 2 weeks free when you sign up now for $7 a month and unlock unparalleled access at twit.tv/clubtwit. That's twit.tv/clubtwit. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you and welcome to the club.